Welcome everyone to Catholic Sunday Scriptures in Context. This is Ministry of the Augustinian Order, St. Paul Parish, and now we're going to add St. Augustine Parish. This will be my first weekend running both parishes. Today we're talking about the 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Our first reading today comes from the prophet Ezekiel. So this prophecy comes while the Jewish people are being held captive in Babylon. And it's been about 5 years that they've been there, and they are wanting a word from the Lord. And God is going to give them a word, but it's not a word that they want to hear. It's going to talk about that, they have been unfaithful, and this is the consequence of them being unfaithful. And Ezekiel, who is a priest of the Jewish faith, is the one who is set to deliver this. And, in the reading you see it says, "They will hear, thus says the Lord," and this is the sign of the authenticity of the message. And the people are going to have to experience a time of trial and tribulation. As poor people, or as exiles in Babylon, it was difficult to find work, they had to eke out a living, and they thought that Nebuchadnezzar would let them go after a few years, but it doesn't seem that way, and the people are losing hope. As the Lord spoke to me, the Spirit entered into me and set me on my feet. And I heard the one who was speaking to me, "Son of man, I am sending you to the Israelites, rebels who have rebelled against me. They, ancestors, have revolted against me to this very day. Hard of face and obstinate of heart are they to whom I am sending you. But you shall say to them, 'Thus says the Lord,' and whether they heed or resist, for they are a rebellious house, they shall know that a prophet has been among them." Our second reading comes from Paul's second letter to the Corinthians. And the Corinthians have experienced several missionaries going through, and Paul's going to refer to them in another part of this letter right before this as super apostles. They think they're the best, and they tout their accomplishments and what they've done, and in some cases they're just swindlers, and they're trying to take advantage of the people. And Paul, who is losing out to them a little bit, says, "I'm not going to tell you about all my successes. I'm going to tell you about all my failures," because he talks about a thorn that was given him in the flesh. We're not really sure what that thorn means, but Paul has come to learn through the beatings that he suffered, through the imprisonment that he suffered, through in being in the cold, that it is in weakness that true strength is found. And, he hears the Lord say, "My grace is sufficient for you, for power is made perfect in weakness." So therefore he is content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and constraints for the sake of Christ. "For when I am weak, then I am strong." And I guess the proof is we know about Paul and we don't know about those other super apostles. Our gospel today is Jesus returning to his hometown. And the people, even though they knew about his miracles and they said the words he was speaking were beautiful, they just couldn't get beyond the point that he was the son of a carpenter, and the son of a carpenter can only do carpentry, and whatever he's saying isn't worth it because he's not of the right class of people. And so it was their prejudice that blinded them to the message of Jesus. And, here, is he not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? So what is odd here, usually it should have been, isn't he the son of Joseph? But so there must have been some hint here of his illegitimacy, since Mary was pregnant with him before they came together. And he was not able to perform mighty deeds there. He was amazed at their lack of faith. Even though they saw the miracles, they still couldn't believe. Please pray for peace, and if you think this is helpful to someone, please pass it on. Thank you very much.